The throne room of Warlord Krothzar fell silent as the guards dragged Sarah Chen forward. Her hands weren't bound, an oversight that confused the assembled courtiers. Humans were supposed to be weak, weren't they? You dare, Krothzar's voice rumbled through his chest cavity, making his battle armor vibrate, put my heir in timeout? Sarah adjusted her glasses, unfazed by the 3-meter-tall reptilian warrior who had conquered 17 star systems. Your heir bit another child and drew blood. In my professional opinion, a timeout was appropriate. Gasps echoed through the chamber. No one spoke to the warlord like that. Certainly not a human hired for what the Zaloran Empire considered the lowly task of childcare specialist. Krothzar's claws scraped against his throne's armrests. My son is destined to lead fleets. To crush enemies. You punish him for showing dominance? He's 4 years old, Sarah said flatly. He needs to learn impulse control before he learns warfare. Unless you want him to be the kind of leader who makes mistakes because he can't control his temper. The throne room went deathly quiet. Even the warlord's most trusted generals stepped back. Sarah continued, her voice calm but firm. I've read about your rise to power, Warlord. You didn't conquer 17 systems by being reckless. You're strategic. Patient. Disciplined. Do you think you'd have survived your first campaign if you bit everyone who annoyed you? Krothzar's yellow eyes narrowed. For a long moment, no one breathed. Then, impossibly, the warlord laughed, a sound like boulders grinding together. My generals cower before me, yet this tiny human lectures me on raising warriors. He leaned forward. Tell me, Sarah Chen, what else am I doing wrong? 3 weeks later, Sarah stood in what was now officially called the Palace Nursery Complex, a facility that housed the offspring of nobles, warriors, and dignitaries from across the empire. Little Krothzar Jr. approached her, his scales dulled with shame. Miss Sarah, I pushed Vexic today. Sarah knelt down to his level. Did you apologize? Yes. And I shared my plasma treats with him. The young heir looked up at her with large eyes. Am I still a warrior? The strongest warriors, Sarah said gently, know when to fight and when to make peace. Your father understands that. Why do you think he rules an empire instead of just destroying it? The child's scales brightened. He nodded and scurried off to play. Behind her, Warlord Krothzar watched through the observation window, his generals flanking him. She's teaching them empathy, General Vakhtar muttered. Cooperation. Emotional regulation. Yes, Krothzar rumbled. Everything I had to learn through decades of bloodshed and mistakes. She gives them these tools before they ever hold a weapon. He watched his son help a smaller child reach a high shelf. Do you know what's more terrifying than a warrior who knows no mercy? The generals waited. A warrior who chooses mercy strategically. Who understands when violence serves their goals and when it doesn't. The warlord's eyes gleamed. Humans don't raise soldiers. They raise leaders. In the nursery, Sarah helped Krothzar Jr. with his letters, unaware that the warlord had just authorized construction of 10 more human-run nurseries across the empire. Sometimes, the greatest victories weren't won with weapons.